In the first segment, you used the term woke, and you said that woke is what was sort of ruining everything. And I know that you're...
No, I didn't say.
Bill Maher's appearance on The View was nothing short of a cultural phenomenon, a live television clash that sent shockwaves across social media and ignited fiery debates among audiences worldwide. What began as a seemingly routine conversation about his political and cultural observations quickly transformed into a dramatic showdown with Sunny Hostin and her co-hosts. With razor-sharp arguments, an unshakable commitment to truth, and his trademark wit, Maher deconstructed the woke ideology piece by piece. It was an exchange that left viewers buzzing, co-hosts flustered, and fans of meaningful dialogue applauding a masterclass in intellectual debate. The sparks began to fly when Sunny Hostin took issue with Maher's critique of the term woke. In recent years, the word has become a lightning rod for cultural and political tensions, with some viewing it as a badge of social awareness and others seeing it as a symbol of excessive progressivism. Hostin framed the term as a positive concept, rooted in the Black community's fight against systemic injustice. "Why is being woke suddenly a bad thing?" she asked, a question that was clearly designed to put Maher on the defensive. But Maher didn't flinch. Instead, he took the opportunity to dissect the evolution of the term and explain why it has become a point of contention for so many Americans. Woke wasn't always a bad thing, he admitted. At its core, it started as something noble, awareness of injustice and inequality. Who wouldn't support that? But like so many movements, it's been hijacked by extremists who are using it as a weapon to stifle dissent and enforce conformity. His words struck a chord with the audience, many of whom responded with applause, leaving Hostin visibly uncomfortable. Maher went on to argue that the left, once a champion of free speech and individuality, has shifted toward a more authoritarian approach. "It's not enough to believe in equality anymore," he said. "You have to agree with every single aspect of the progressive agenda, or you're labeled as the enemy. That's not progress, that's a regression." Hostin attempted to counter by accusing Maher of oversimplifying the issue, but he wasn't about to let the conversation be derailed. The debate took a more heated turn when Maher brought up recent protests supporting Hamas, a topic that has polarized opinions across the globe. He expressed disbelief at the willingness of some on the left to align themselves with an organization that openly opposes the very values they claim to champion. "If you're marching for Hamas, you're not fighting for justice. You're supporting a terrorist organization," he said. "This isn't about picking sides, it's about acknowledging the truth." Hostin, clearly taken aback, tried to pivot the discussion toward the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, framing it as a broader issue of human rights. But Maher wasn't buying it. "You can't talk about human rights while ignoring what Hamas stands for," he retorted. "This is a group that oppresses women, persecutes LGBTQ people, and denies basic freedoms. Supporting them is not the same as fighting for justice. It's the exact opposite." His remarks drew enthusiastic applause from the audience, further solidifying his point. The conversation shifted to cultural debates about language and symbolism, another battleground for woke ideology. Hostin and her co-hosts argued that phrases like blackmailed and black sheep perpetuate systemic racism, a claim Maher dismissed as performative nonsense. "This is what we're wasting our time on?" he asked incredulously. "While there are real injustices happening in the world, we're arguing about the etymology of words. This isn't activism, it's a distraction." Maher's critique of performative activism didn't stop there. He went on to address what he sees as the left's obsession with virtue signaling at the expense of practical solutions. "The left used to be about making real change, fighting for civil rights, ending wars, protecting the environment," he said. "Now it's about tweeting the right hashtags and canceling people who don't agree with you. That's not progress, that's self-indulgence." One of the most memorable moments of the debate came when Maher turned his attention to the media's role in shaping public opinion. Hostin argued that conservative media outlets disproportionately influence political discourse, but Maher flipped the script, pointing out the overwhelming dominance of liberal voices in mainstream media. "The left controls Hollywood, academia, and most of the press," he said. "If you still think the media is stacked against you, maybe it's time to look in the mirror." His remarks drew both laughter and applause, leaving Hostin momentarily speechless. The debate grew even more personal when Maher addressed the issue of moral relativism, a recurring theme in his critiques of modern progressivism. The problem with the woke agenda is that it doesn't differentiate between real injustices and manufactured ones, he said. Not every issue is a crisis and not every disagreement is an attack. We've lost the ability to have nuanced conversations because everything has become a moral crusade. Hostin, clearly frustrated, accused Maher of being dismissive of genuine concerns. But Maher stood his ground, emphasizing the importance of focusing on meaningful issues rather than getting bogged down in trivial debates. There are real problems in this world: poverty, climate change, political corruption, he said. We should be putting our energy into solving those, not arguing about pronouns or reinterpreting history to fit a modern narrative. As the debate reached its climax, Maher turned his attention to the topic of free speech, a cornerstone of his philosophy. He criticized the growing trend of censorship on college campuses and in public discourse, arguing that it stifles creativity and intellectual growth. Free speech isn't just a privilege, it's a necessity for a healthy society, he said. If we can't talk to each other, we can't solve anything. Maher's final remarks served as a scathing indictment of what he sees as the left's abandonment of its core principles. The left used to be the side that fought for individual rights, free expression, and equality, he said. Now it's the side that silences dissent, cancels people for disagreeing, and prioritizes virtue signaling over real change. If that's what being woke means, then count me out. The fallout from Maher's appearance on The View was immediate and intense. Clips of the debate went viral, with fans praising his composure and critics accusing him of oversimplification. Social media erupted with reactions, with many viewers calling it one of the most compelling episodes of The View in recent memory. For Maher, it was another opportunity to challenge the status quo and spark meaningful dialogue, even in the face of intense opposition. What do you think about Bill Maher's appearance on The View? Did he effectively expose the flaws in the woke narrative, or did his critiques miss the mark? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And before you go, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Stay tuned for more in-depth analyses and debates on today's most pressing cultural and political issues. Let's keep the conversation going.